Today, we're going to look at another story in the news, which makes me wonder, and maybe you'll think the same thing. Why do I bother getting up and going to work when there are people earning vast amounts of money just for doing weird shit? So this young lady goes by the online name Ari, and she recently quit her job as a waitress after joining FanView, a site similar to OnlyFans. Because in just a few months, she's made over £50,000. But not by just removing her clothing and charging people to look at her genitals. No, she caters for a very, very unusual client base. So, some of Ari's highest paying customers are men who get turned on by gardening. Now, I can get my head around most fetishes. They tend to be connected with some sort of childhood trauma. But are we to believe there are men out there walking among us, say, a guy who on Saturday afternoon is in B&Q, who suddenly gets a raging hard-on walking past the lawnmowers, thinking, look at the blades on that flymo? Or is there a guy out here who'll brush against a Fison's grow bag and have to run home to furiously masturbate? Ari began her adult modelling career in the usual way, flashing her gash for cash. But noticed she was getting niche requests after she posted some photographs of her tending to her garden, not a euphemism. And then she had an early request asking if she could send the client some pictures of her pruning her flowers, again, not a euphemism. Maybe I don't understand this fetish because I absolutely loathe gardening. I am very fortunate that Disgruntled Towers has front and rear gardens, but they serve to keep other people the fuck away from me. The extent of my gardening is that once a year I get some industrial weed killer and carry out a sort of plant-based genocide. But even if I were a single man, I can't comprehend a situation where I go to, say, a gentleman's club and ask if any of the lap dancers would come and talk to me about composting. Some tart going, yeah baby, do you want me to mulch it? If anyone is now picturing me as a lap dancer, I do apologise, that's a disturbing image. However, the request which Ari gets the most changes this story completely, because it takes us away from a world of eccentric weirdos who like looking at women in gardening gloves using secateurs, and plunges it straight into the world of torture porn. Yes, the thing she's asked to do more than anything else is to get unrobed and then either squat into or lay in a patch of stinging nettles. And the most expensive videos are the ones where the pain gets so much that she starts crying. So there's that. Just to be clear, the responsibility for this falls on her. If she chooses to do this to make a living, then fair enough. But who are the guys who are paying for it? Because if, quote, conventional porn isn't already degrading enough to women, and what gets you off is seeing some lass sting her clit with the stinging nettles while you toss away, get fucking help. And after recording a nettle video or ending a nettle live stream, Ari says all she has to do is sit in an ice bath for around 4 hours. Now, I'm not a doctor or a botanist, but I'm guessing if you're doing something that's causing you to have to sit in ice for half the length of a fucking working day, it's probably not very good for you. Now, the way that stinging nettles work is they have tiny needles that inject acid under the skin, and that causes the burning sensation. Fucking acid. And I have no idea about the long-term implications. But does it seem sensible that not continuously being injected with acid would be the better option? At the beginning of this video, I said it made me wonder why I bother going to work when people are earning money doing weird stuff. However, on reflection, if the choice was between continuing to work the 6-2 shift, which I do now, or taking my pork, sword and gentleman vegetables and rubbing them in a patch of stinging nettles for the enjoyment of the internet's most sadistic perverts, I think I'll just keep clocking in. As ever, thanks for watching.